What's going on, Jeromes? We are back in the saddle again. Happy Wednesday out there, everyone, everywhere. November 4th, Daily Jerome's live stream coming right at you, 11 a.m. Central Time, every Monday through Thursday. It's good times. Actually, TBD about tomorrow. Might be heading to an undisclosed location. So, because Minnesota rifle deer season starts on Saturday. Going to try and get some time in before, boomstick season. So we'll see. Thanks for coming along, making us part of your day. Join the Discord. Link is in the description. It's like a 24/7 version of the Vikings Jerome's live stream. Live chat. Yeah, there we go. We got a lot of questions to get to, a lot of good stuff to talk about. So let's get it down. Sophia Lincoln tried to say 5 nice things about Kirk Cousins. Well, he's tall. He seems like a genuinely good dude. Like, you know that some athletes and some public figures will put on an absolute facade of there's no way that this person is this nice and this good and this high character. They're hiding bodies underneath the porch somewhere. But no, Kirk, probably no bodies, although I'm still pretty sure that those steaks on 4th of July were human kidneys. But I like that he seems to be pretty thrifty and frugal. It's always good. Save your money for a rainy day because it's always going to rain. Seems to be a good family guy. Also, he won a playoff game. Congratulations. Plus, he does have, when he has time and when he is confident, he does have one of the best deep balls in the game. He absolutely does. And it's like we've said ad nauseum that if Cousins was on the Niners last year in the Super Bowl, they probably win. Because I think that deep shot that Jimmy G missed to Emmanuel Sanders down the middle, I think that Kirk hits that 9 times out of 10. Daniel Olson, what was your favorite movie growing up? I don't know. Like Happy Gilmore's up there. Oh, Black Sheep. Yeah. So Black Sheep and Tommy Boy are basically the same movie. Yeah, they are. Let's be honest here. But Black Sheep, the scene where they're in the bunk beds and then Chris Farley falls on David Spade, I can't remember how many times I rewound that video cassette. Yes, video cassette. Videotape on the VCR. It was great. RV Melber. I feel the team missed on some draft capital to improve on the positions for the vets who won't be on the team next year due to cap restraints, but not making trades yesterday. Well, also, you needed a team to trade for them. So I understand why the Vikings didn't do it. Like, if the most you could get out of Kyle Rudolph was a 7th-round pick, I don't think that's worth the heat and embarrassment. Plus, Spielman will find a way to get 7th-round picks anyway. So, it's one of those things where you need demand. I mean, you can have all the supply you want, but there's no demand. Not going to be a deal done. Booga, man. First off, love the show. Like you, Skull. Also, do you think if we build this offensive lineup, Kirk Cousins could be that guy? If not, who do you think will be under center for the future, Skull? No. I still think that the Vikings will cut Kirk this offseason, just eat the dead cap, and then rookie TBD. Like, could be first round, could be day 2, and we just just recorded a video that we're gonna put out tomorrow morning. PFF's first mock draft we went through. It's not a really good scenario for the Vikings because first 3 picks are quarterbacks, 4 of the top 7 are QBs. Vikings won't be in that range anyway. The Vikings will probably be drafting late teens, early 20s anyway. But it's a deep quarterback class still. Harambe, what would be your starting team if you could have any superstar player in any position? Offense. Man, what would you do here? So let me think. So quarterback, pretty easily going Mahomes. I know that people still like Lamar Jackson. I think he's a lot of fun to watch for sure, but I do have a lot of questions about how he is handling some of the top competition, because it just seems like in big time games, things are not going overly well for him. Just not right now, right? So here, running back, Dalvin, easy. Fullback, CJ Ham, easy. Wide receiver, Nuke. For me, Nuke is still the best receiver in the game. I might go Justin Jefferson. And it's a little bit of a homer pick, but also, not really. Tight end, Kittle, even though he got hurt, it's fine. Tackles, guess I'll go Tunsil. And, gosh, who should I go with? Should I just go Brian O'Neill? Let's go full homer on it. Why not? Who would I go with on the right side? Specifically, I want a right tackle. Oh, Ramczyk. Probably Ramczyk. Although Brian O'Neill is a bad man. He is. Guard, Quentin Nelson, Zach Martin. Easy peasy. Center. Who should I go with? I could go Ragnow, I guess. The pride of Chanhassen. Even scouting report on the Lions offensive line. Everyone sucks except for Ragnow. Or do I just go Bradbury? Like, Bradbury's been a bad man this year, dude. Yeah. I'll go Ragnow, sure. Pulford Skull. Looking back on how things shaking out, I'm glad the rookies are getting time to play. Why are we zoomed in so much? And learning to grow. Save the unique money next year and got some draft capital back. No big name DBs pay sign. Young guys around the cheap contracts. Very impressive. One, I'm Gladney. Lots to learn to grow to. Props to Wilson and Fadi as well, stepping up a huge way. Damn straight. Next up is Ethan Griffith. Everson Griffin needs to be back next year. Just pay him. He was worth so much more than you consider him off the field influence. I mean, he is on a 1-year deal. I think that he could probably be had next year for pretty cheap. He was pretty cheap this year, to be honest. It's really unfortunate that they lowballed him. Also, it's more unfortunate that he signed with Dallas literally hours before it was announced that Daniil had his tweaked up neck. Also, Xavier Rhodes is on a 1-year deal, by the way. Run it back. Mark Jr. If the Vikings... Oh, Mac Alexander's on a 1-year deal, too. If the Vikings don't take a quarterback in the draft, trade Cousins, should they trade for Darnold and sign Josh Rosen? I would be okay with that. That would be the second least appealing option for me. The most least appealing option would be keeping Kirk and not drafting a quarterback in the future. Waz Wumble. Over. Guess the quarterback here by snap count. Cadence? Blue 80, said Hut. Blue Y80, said Hut. Is it Rodgers? Patrick Mahomes? Cool. Dalvin Cook is... speaking of cadence, one of my favorite cadence all time is Dan Marino. Like, if you go back and watch the old school like NFL films, it's like he's not even saying words. It's like, that. Clayton. Mark Clayton. Get over there. It's kind of funny. Dan Marino is almost a Dolphin, by the way. Let's see... Or, it's almost Dolphin. It was almost a Viking, by the way. Dan Marino, Vikings. So 2000. Look at this old-ass ESPN website. Man, this is back in the day type stuff. And also, look at Chris Mortensen. Man, this video file is 125K. Wow. All right, so Marino retired after, I want to say 98. But so this is 2000. Vikings have an offer on the table. So this was after 99. So Randall Cunningham, 98, amazing. Came back 99. Him and Jeff George, but the Vikings were still in that window. 2000 with Dante. They had drafted Dante in 99, though. But they still a 39-year-old Marino. Except Dan had so many ankle and foot and knee issues where it was just, it wasn't going to happen. It's unfortunate. Man, what could have been, though? I mean, Dan Marino, he certainly couldn't move, but that offensive line was good. Because he had Stussy, he had Corey Stringer, RIP, at that time. I forgot they lost McDaniel and Christie. Maybe that's why he didn't come back. Yeah. That makes sense. And then, ironically, Chris Carter went to Miami after he opted out of his contract. Next up, Dalvin Cook is the best running back in the NFL. Do you think Daniil will demand more money in the future or even Dalvin? Probably not Dalvin, since his deal is pretty commensurate with where he is. But Daniil, certainly. I mean, Daniil is the 18th highest paid edge rusher in the league right now, which is just stupid. And also, remember, when Rap Sheet announced that Daniil was having surgery, it was like, it is a sham. They need to pay him or trade him. I mean, that didn't come out of nowhere. That came straight from Daniil's agent, guaranteed. Pulford Skull. Two standouts in special teams for me have been KJ Osborne, Mike Boone. Boone's speed and great tackling. I think you use him at cornerback. Maybe may have to. I mean, it's not the worst idea. I mean, Boone has shown that he has great short area explosiveness and agility. Plus, he is a pretty decent tackler as well. So it may come to that. I mean, it's actually not a horrible idea. Jerome Shalom, after the win on Sunday, what is your prediction for the score of the Vikings versus Bills Super Bowl? Vikings 45, Bills 43. They hit a last-second field goal. Dan Bailey, left hash, 57 yards. It would have been good from 70. Miles, is there any way that if they make a playoff run, Daniil could come back? I doubt it. Yeah, I doubt it. Although, I mean, since you don't have to designate guys for return, I guess it's possible. So what? So he had surgery last week. So you got 10 weeks. And then 3. So essentially you'd have 15 weeks. 14, 15 weeks if you made it to the Super Bowl. Nah, probably not. But it'd be crazy, though. If he just came out. Because we're Super Bowl this year. Oh, Tampa. Yeah. Coming out in Tampa. Bob God with this Daniil Hunter's music. He comes in and plays like 10 snaps. That would actually be pretty great. Zach Farmer. If Cousins could magically develop one trait like in video games, would you rather be Russell Wilson's leadership or Mahomes' improvisation, and why? Neither. I would take... Whose poise would I take? Probably Russ's. And that would make the most sense. Now, Tom Brady's poise. Tom Brady's poise in the pocket. But if I had to pick from those two, probably Russ's leadership. Yeah. T-Rag. Now, this may seem crazy, but what would you think about Zimmer becoming both head coach and GM? Oh, God, no. No, it'd be all defensive players. Like every single draft would be like the Panthers this year. Like all the picks used on defensive players. No. Next up, Colin Andrist. What story of the Jordans behind you? I don't know. Just we needed things for a shelf, and they were here. MIT03. Do you think we could see KJ Osborne play some wide receiver sometime soon? We're still looking for a wide receiver 3. Now, Kubiak seems all in on the babes, on the child baby. You're going to see a lot more BB. So probably not. Although I did like Osborne in training camp. He did look pretty damn good. See, Everson Griffin's practicing. Yeah, that one's going to hurt the most. I mean, we've already seen Adrian come back to US Bank Stadium twice. So that's kind of old hat. But yeah, him and Everson coming back, that'll be tough. Also, J-Ron. Who cares about J-Ron? Randy Moss is the boss. Oh, let us know where we're watching from and give a couple shout outs. I was like doing that. Man, I'm so happy I got to watch the Cardinals beat the Seahawks week 6. And then this week I got to watch the Dalvin's cooking show on Fox. Awesome, man. Yeah, because we forget, like, Vikings fans out of market. Sometimes it's catch as catch can. Eric Young Music. Hey, how you doing, Andy? I made a 7-round mock draft for the Vikings. Want to get your opinion? Alaric is interesting. Vrabel, meh. No pants for Trey Lance, sure. Except they're not at... I don't believe they're at 6 now. Are there trades in here? No trades. Doesn't look like it. Miller. I think Dads is underrated. And doubling up on edge. I mean, this is the draft that would appease the Vikings fans because of all the offensive linemen at the top, and then Zimmer gets his way towards the end. It's possible. Congrats on 30K. Hey, thank you, man. Jake James. Would a different... core defensive game worked better than our current one? I think it's hard to pick off the ball if you're never looking at the quarterback. Plus, well, they've been mixing up zone and man quite a bit because we charted the last game and it was 24 snaps man, 22 zone, or the other way around. So it's been pretty close. I think that, frankly, I think it is really important right now with so many young players and so many guys out of position. Well, not out of position, but on the field before they maybe should, that it's important to keep it relatively simple so that young guys aren't overthinking things. Just let them go out and play because simple is fast. So, I mean, they're not really reinventing the wheel. I think this is the most reserved that Zimmer's defense has been in a while because they're playing a lot of cover 2. They're playing, they're not blitzing as much as they used to, so they're trying to give as much help to the cornerbacks as possible. Like, they only blitz 7 times out of 46 snaps on Sunday. They only blitzed on 2 out of 10 third downs, which is shockingly low for Zimmer. So I'm actually okay with it. And also with the new relaxation of the rules, I think that they're playing probably about as well as you can expect at this point. Matthew Zerna. Do you trade for Haskins? Young has so much potential. I don't think Haskins has it together between the ears. I think there's some serious maturity issues. There was some in the draft, and also they've really cropped up with Washington. I don't think the kid's a leader. Also, he is an absolute statue in the pocket, so I don't think he would fare very well here in Minnesota. So I'm out. Charlie Boltman. I'm not down for the tank, but I've also prepared myself for Kirk to be our quarterback through 2022. His team is good enough to have a top 12 pick. Team is too good to have a top 12 pick. I know trust the Vikings take the necessary steps to move up. Teams that need quarterback draft, foolish passion on quarterback draft. Yeah, I think that even with the large supply of good quarterbacks in this draft, I think that a lot of them may go earlier than the Vikings go. Vikings draft. Samson Romance Skull from work. What's up? Portland Skull, Nashville. Hot Chicken. What's up? Purple Rain Skull from Wausau, Wisconsin. Lucas Rauschecker Skull from Germany. Guten Tag. Big Rover coming straight out of Compton. Callum H, Ontario, Canada. There's Ontario, California too, right? I'm not just lying out here, right? Yeah. Mike Benham, Inver Grove Heights. What is up? Thanks for coming along. You guys are the best. Kevin Ace. Forget tank for Trevor, fail for Fields, lose for Lance. We winning for Wilson. Man, I'm worried that Wilson is starting to rise up just a little. Ernest Pilot Gaming, South Dakota State University. What's up? Manuel Clotaire, Skull from Germany. Guten Tag as well. Charles, what quarterback will the Vikings most likely take in the draft? I'm leaning towards Wilson or Mac Jones. I still think Trey Lance is in the top 10 range. And I think Fields probably goes second still. It's Bandit. Zach Ballas, if Cam Newton completely implodes the season, do you think he gets one more shot somewhere next year? No, I don't think so. I think this could be it. It's Bandit. Some team will pick him up as a backup, but going in with him as a starter, I don't really see that. It's Bandit. Who do the Timberwolves take with the pick and why? I don't know. I've not been following. Is the VAR Balls kid in there? Sure. Where's the draft this year anyway? Or when is it? Doesn't matter. Skull Lean. Wait, isn't the draft in June? Oh, because basketball season usually goes through June. Whatever. How has Dakota Dozier been playing this year? Haven't heard much about him, assuming that's a good thing. He's not been great in pass protection, but he's had some really nice highlights in terms of run blocking, and I think that's one of the big reasons why he's out there. He was really good in the game on Sunday. Zach Farmer. What's the one thing the Vikings do that aggravates you the most in game? Mine is when we run the ball more than 3 times in a row. But considering the alternative of Kirk Cousins, I'm kind of okay with it. Plus, it is every play doesn't happen in a vacuum. When the whole cliche of establishing the run, there's a method to the madness where, yeah, maybe sometimes you're running and you don't get a lot of yards and you don't pick up the sticks and you punt and all this and all that. But what you're doing to the defense is you're punching them. It's like in a boxing match where you don't go for the haymakers in the first round. You're establishing your distance. You got them with the jab, a couple shots to the body. You're figuring out what you can do, and those add up. And then the later rounds, that's when you start swinging, right? So all the defense just having to tackle Dalvin Cook over and over and over and over again. And also, if they're on the field longer, which running the ball does tend to lend itself to, that in the fourth quarter, Dalvin, that offensive line, those rugged athletes out there, still fresh as a daisy, and you're tired as hell. You're like, please don't make me tackle the 230-pound dude anymore. Please don't make me do that. And then Dalvin, with his 4.4 speed, just gets the corner, and you're like, am I going to make a business decision or am I going to give up a touchdown here? Yeah. Next up. Oh, what aggravates me the most? Zimmer, when he makes decisions that are just like what? Like sometimes challenges come out of his ass, going for two when you don't have to. There's a lot of like time and clock management issues that I have problems with, but Noisy Boy. Why do you think the Vikings didn't trade Monday or Tuesday? Well, they should have been in on Desmond King, but also I don't think they moved anyone because they won the game. If they were 1-6, I think it would have been a fire sale. But also, I don't think teams aren't stupid. They're not going to take on those big contracts of veteran old guys just for picks. No. Like it would be like Kyle Rudolph maybe gets a 7th. Anthony Harris and his remaining deal that you'd have to pay would get a 6th. Who else? Reef, maybe the top of the market was a 4th round pick, maybe. But also he's playing phenomenal. So if you're going to make a run, why not hang on to him? Yeah, so I don't think the market was there. Phil C, do you think we still have a chance to make the playoffs? Absolutely. 13% via 538. Plus, you look at the schedule. The Vikings have, let's see here. They got the Saints. They got the Bucks, who are already in. They beat the Packers once. They almost beat the Seahawks. Also, ahead of them in the playoff schedule, or in the playoff rankings, Niners are going nowhere. They're going to sink fast with all those injuries. You get 2 games against the Lions. You get 2 games against the Bears. You get a game against the Panthers. You get to play the Jaguars at home. So, I mean, come on. The Vikings could seriously get on a run here and do some damage. Waz Wubble. Guess the player. I don't go right. I truck over my opponents. Marshawn Lynch 2.0. I don't know. DK? Alexander Masson. Cool. Jacob Mejia Meggett. Who is the best quarterback the Vikings have a chance of getting Skull? Say if they're drafting in the teens, like maybe Wilson cools off a little bit. Maybe Mac Jones. Maybe Kyle Trask, even though I'm kind of out on Kyle Trask. HDTV. Why did we trade Ngakoue for so cheap? Well, if they weren't going to extend him, it does make sense. They were able to recoup basically like 80 cents on the dollar from the initial trade of the 2nd and the conditional 5th. You get a 3rd and conditional 5th. Although what potentially could have been a high 2nd round pick for a low 3rd round pick, I get it. But the Ravens are kind of wobbling. You hate to see it. A Viking quest. Also, we have to root for the Ravens to lose now. It's so sad that we're trying to slot a 3rd round pick. No matter what happens, if they cut Kirk next year, I'm happy. I mean, part of growing up is knowing when you made a mistake and cut loose a bad investment. You got to know when to fold them. John Anderson TV. If we cut Cousins, do you think his career is over as a starter? I can definitely see teams wind him as a backup, honestly. I think that he would be brought in as a bridge quarterback. You look at Tyrod with the Chargers before they gave way to Herbert, before they punctured his lung. I could see a situation like that where he ends up, Kirk ends up in Jacksonville where he keeps the seat warm for Trey Lance or Justin Fields or whatever with the Jaguars. Samson Romaine. CBS Sports Mock drafted us Jason Owe, edge from Penn State, at number 10. So the PFF mock that we're going to talk about tomorrow, they also had edge rusher Rousseau from Miami, who I think Rousseau's the best edge rusher in the class. Well, Kwity Paye from Michigan is really coming up fast too. So I could see them going defensive interior. I could see them going cornerback, more pressing needs. Especially with the Fadi and Wanham, they're going to have a lot of time to really step up the rest of this year. And Hunter should be back 100% next year. So, Shiver Me Timbers. With the lack of safety depth, can they really afford to let go Anthony Harrison in the offseason? Also, realistically, when do you think Harrison Smith retires? I think Harrison has 4 years left. And, well, Anthony Harris, I don't blame him for not settling for less money because, I mean, this is really his only opportunity to make some good coin in the league because he's going to be 30 years old. That's tough. I mean, do you bring Anthony Harris back on like a 2-year deal for $20 million? Would he accept that? I don't know. Ethan Griffith, what's the worst contract on the roster other than Kirk? I think it's got to be Barr, Rudy maybe. Yeah, I think you nailed the order. Kirk, Barr, Rudy. Ugh. Sam Morris. How do you see the Packers doing the rest of the season? That's a good looking question. Well, I wonder if that game's going to go down on Thursday because Niners just had a positive test, so that they had to shut down the building. Let's take a look at what's his face. All right, so Thursday night, then they get the Jaguars at home. We're happy for you. Then they're at the Colts. That's going to be a really interesting game because Colts still have one of the best defenses in the league. Will be interesting to see what they can do. We got the Bears at home, Philly at home, at Detroit, Panthers and Titans at home. Oh, the Titans game is going to be a good game. So, I mean, they could end up 9-7. We would love to see it. 10-6 is more likely, but can the Vikings claw their way back in? So the tiebreakers, since I split, would be in division record, I believe. So the Vikings go 5-1 in division, and if the Bears are able to trip them up at some point, which never throw the records out when those two get together, and then they end up, say the Packers end up 4-2 in division, the Vikings end up 5-1, both end up 10-6. Woo, got it. Vikings got the division. Let's go. And also the Bears. I ain't worried about the Bears. Next up is Salt Cypher. Who's the best Viking of all time? Why is it Mwelde Moore? I love Mwelde Moore, man. Pride of Tulane. He's a great third down back. Like him. He was on the Steelers too back in the day. But for me, best Viking of all time. That's still Antoine Winfield. I mean, come on. RJ Free. Why does Minnesota all of a sudden have a ton of butthurt fans? I thought Packers fans were fair weather types. You're not a fan no matter how many years you say you were if you get mad at others for being happy for winning. Nah, that's fair. It's actually kind of fair. Play to win the game. Don't get mad at fans that are happy about the team winning games just because you think you can outsmart the draft. You can't outsmart the draft. No one can. Well, for the trade primer video on Tuesday, we didn't think that anything was going to happen. Like, since the Vikings beat the Packers, still that flicker of hope, I think they're going to keep the band together, and they did. They also were reportedly in on Eagles safety Will Parks, but they couldn't come to an agreement. Howie Roseman, I'm sure, is just like, well, Rick, we need a first and conditional fourth. F you. No. The 87 Penguin, who are you voting for? None of your damn business. Damn straight. All right, so is that it? Oh, no, one more. Matthew Zarzor, we should sign Eli Apple. It's not like a cornerbacks would get worse than him. They easily could. I never liked Eli Apple at Ohio State. I never liked him in the draft. It's physical talent, sure. There's just some about prospects that just seems off, and you can't really articulate it, but you just know that they're not going to work, right? And Eli Apple is that for me. Also, it's not an Ohio State thing, but I'm not in on Fields. I'm just not. Like, you can put up all the stats that he wants. I'm sure he's a great kid too, but there's just something. And, I point out, like, is it pocket awareness? Is it ability to do things off script? Is that it? I don't know. But he's going to be drafted high. We'll see what happens. But that is it. That's the Daily Jerome's live stream. You guys are the best. Thanks for coming along. Be back tomorrow, probably. Subscribe if you haven't already. Come along for Daily Vikings Takes. You know what to do. Skull, production value.